Okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. I am
Hi.
Kirsten, and we have the lovely Anna here. Anna is the founder of Bliss, along with her husband, Corey Seidel. They're delightful humans, and I am honored to be a part of their world. I help with the marketing and all of that other stuff. So what we have for everybody now is the Gold Standard Challenge. So what we're doing is the first week of what you need to get started, and we're going to go through all of that and give you the instructions for everything that you need.
And just realize, for those of you who like to follow all of the rules, there is some part of wing it.
Yes.
You just wing it, get in there, try it, do it, see what works for you, because what works for some doesn't work for everybody. It's okay to mess up.
It is. And that is part of this, is we are constructing this. Here's our general framework. But within that general framework, there are going to be all sorts of variations, and that's what we're especially focusing on in this 30-day challenge. We have the first videos from February's 30-day challenge available on YouTube. You can check those out as well. But what we're going to do in this is week one, we're going to give you the basics. And then in the following 3 weeks, we're going to give you more information about how to troubleshoot what's going on with your nails and your situation and your lifestyle and all of those things. So
yep.
It's going to vary. This is the general outline. If you fudge a little bit and break the rules, great. Just what we're focused on is you getting the results that you want. So
exactly.
Step one, if you have not already, join the Bliss at Nail Bar on Facebook. The easiest way to get there is go to myblisskiss.com/3, 0, and then DC. So 30 DC. That will take you to a place where you sign up, and it gives you all of the links and information that you need to join the Bliss at Nail Bar. Make sure you answer the questions on Facebook when you request to join the nail bar. This is a troll-free zone. We monitored it very closely, and there's no haters, there's no nitpicking, there's no any of that stuff. All it is love and support and help.
Exactly.
The end.
Okay. Number one, which is not number one, but it's number two. Take before pictures.
Yes.
Because once you put the oil on, there is no before anymore. It is, yeah.
Yep. So take your before pictures. Future you will thank you.
Yes.
Step
trusty, all of the things. Just, it's okay. Everybody starts with yucky befores.
You can share your photos in the Bliss at Nail Bar. It's a closed group. Mm-hmm. You also don't have to. Just keep them on your phone, because by the time you get to day 30, you're not even going to believe the difference. It's going to be fantastic. And yes, so take your before pictures. Step 3 is do an intensive hydration treatment. And we're going to go through what that looks like here in a minute. So we'll get into details with there.
Mm-hmm.
And step 4 is the Fab 5 manicure wrap. We will give you the details for that as well. Step 5, repeat this weekly. That's basically it.
Pretty easy. 4 and 5. Just 3, 4, 5.
3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Yep. And then step 6, we're going to do videos every week-ish, as close to a week as we can with all of the craziness that's going on in our world this month. Yep. And then after we make it to the end of July, take your after pictures. And that's it.
And then we're going to celebrate.
We're going to give away gift certificates. Mm-hmm. And we're going to do some giveaways during the month. So hang out with us. It's going to be fun. Yes. The Bliss at Nail Bar is where we're going to host most of it. You're more than welcome, and we encourage you to share your pictures on Instagram as well and tag us with the My Bliss Kiss and then the hashtag 30-day Gold Standard Challenge. Anyway, so easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yep.
So products you need. Do you absolutely have to have our products? No. I mean, you can use what you have, but for you to get best results, we really do recommend you invest in you and in your results. We're at the very end of our semi-annual sale. Mm-hmm. So by the time you watch this, you may have missed this, but you can also sign up you can take the nail art quizzes that we have on the website, and we have under resources. So myblisskiss.com/resources, or you can join the Nail Bite Pick group or the healthy skin group if you have skin issues, and you get a 10% off coupon for your whole order.
Yes.
One-time use. So if you miss the sale, there is option for you to save 10%, which is great. The best thing that you can invest in to get started for the 30-day challenge is going to be the Mega Hydration Kit. It's the starter kit and the Mega Hydration Kit are life-changing. If you're able to, the travel kit, especially if you bite and pick like me, game changer. Like it's
Yes.
ridiculous. So we'll put links in the video to all of those products for you to get started. Again, if you don't have them, do the best you can with what you have. The next sale will be in January. So that's then just, do the best you can with what you have. But as we're talking about the nitrile or latex gloves, unless you have skin sensitivity to nitrile or latex, we do recommend that you avoid cotton gloves or fiber gloves because that's going to absorb all of the oil and the balm that you're putting on your skin.
Exactly.
If you do have sensitivities to latex and nitrile, and I've had that in the past, I get the dishydrotic eczema. You can use the thin liners, cotton liners, and you can soak those in olive oil. So soak the liners in olive oil or coconut oil or something that you have in your house. We recommend you avoid all petroleum products like mineral oil, baby oil, stuff like that, just because it does not absorb into your skin. And so if you soak the gloves with the olive oil or coconut oil, then put on our oils and the balm and then the latex over the top of it or the nitrile over the top of it, just to seal all of that in with your body heat, that's going to make a huge difference.
Okay.
So before and after pictures, again, we're re-emphasizing this because why? It's important.
It's really important.
So this is Jen's pictures from this spring when she did the 30-day challenge. So you can see, like looking at the proximal fold right there, how she had little tears. She didn't have a whole lot of peeling in this one. We have a whole bunch more dramatic photos as well. But, something like this so that you can see where you started, the progress along the way, the progress at the end. Holy smokes. Like, look at that. That's fantastic. Like the difference here, you can see this is still pretty rough. This is healing a bunch. But by this May 24th, holy smokes.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So yes, keep track of your progress. So here's an overview of when to take your nail fees, as we call them.
Yes.
We want to support you in your progress. And you know what? This is part of the beauty of the Bliss Set nail bar too. Sharing your photos, you're going to get so many kudos and cheers and silly gifts and stuff like that from the group where we're cheering you on. And it really helps you stick to your guns and keep with the program.
That commitment.
That's the commitment. So what we also want you to do at the beginning of this is figure out what your nail goals are. What do you actually want? What do you want your nails to look like? So if you spend some time looking at Pinterest or online or on your favorite nail art blog or Instagram, wherever you hang out, what's realistic for you? Are you looking for beautiful sculpted, what's that one called? Ballerina? That's not quite ballerina, is it?
Those are almonds or yeah, actually those are, you know what, there's only about 16 different shapes. So let's move on.
Okay, moving on. Are you looking for just getting a little bit of length back? Have you been a severe biter and picker and all you're doing is you just want to get your nail plate back up to normal? Or are you going for mega length? Like, what do you actually want? What's going on? Length, health, and shape. So if you consider those three things of what you want for you, it's very important. And as you're looking at all of these other nail bloggers and everything else, we really want to focus and emphasize and remind you that
not everybody looks
like Twiggy or Kate Moss. And what was it? Over 90% of the people who are nail bloggers, they have the vertically long nail shape.
Yes, they do.
And that is genetically predetermined.
Yeah, and there's really nothing you can do to change that. So if you're a broad sideways person, you are never, ever going to be a vertical long. You're also never going to be a sword person. So
don't be Twiggy. Don't be Kate Moss. If you are, be who you are, own it and rock it. And that's part of what's fantastic about this group. Like, oh my gosh, the other day we had a whole thread about foot pics. And people were sharing their toenails. There's so much shame around sharing toenails, but in the nail bar, there is no shame. It's just love and support. So whatever your shape is, what did we decide mine were? They were inverted triangles, I think.
Yeah.
So that's me. Yeah. And so what we wanted to talk about this a little bit too. So there's the actual physical shape. I don't know if you guys can see. The lighting's weird.
It is.
My nail shape. It's rainy and cloudy today. But my nails, they are this inverted triangle shape and they also curve up.
So what she's talking about is that they actually, if you're looking at if you have a horizontal line, mine are very, very straight across the horizon. Whereas yours scoop
Mine
up.
go up.
Yeah. And there is a name for spoon nails. That's a different thing than what yours are.
Mm-hmm.
Spoon actually looks like very much like a spoon in the way it's
concave.
Yeah. And then there's parrot nails, which are the ones that drop down over. So a lot of that is predetermined by the size and the shape of your matrix, as well as your fingertip bone. So there's a lot that we cannot change. And so then this is where we're going to support you. And okay, this is who I am. This is how I'm going to show up. And here's how I'm going to look the very best that I can.
Yep. And so each of these nail shapes are going to behave a little bit differently within the actual shape. So we're going to help you identify what it is that's going on for you and the different challenges that you have. So for example, mine where they curve up, I have lots of tip wear and my manicures don't stay on very well. So part of what we're doing, and I get to be the guinea pig for, is I'm testing out different base coats of what works best for this type of nail shape and nail type. And there are all sorts of other genetic variations that we're going to talk about in more detail in coming weeks, of like the number of layers of your keratin, the tightness of the bonds between the cells in your nail layers, and how that affects your results, and how it affects your life and what you can actually achieve realistically without being twiggy or Kate Moss.
Right.
So next step.
Okay.
This is the Bliss Kiss Ultimate Nail Care Routine. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the intensive hydration treatments and walk you through what that process looks like. So as you can see here, step
Very
one.
Complicated.
It's very complicated, but we tried to simplify it as much as possible. So in the very beginning, we want everybody to do an intensive nail hydration. So Anna, will you narrate for everyone what I'm doing as I'm doing it? Because I'm going to do one right now.
All right, so you're going to get your pen started. This is the only time that I'm going to actually ask you to put on a lot of oil. Usually people put on too much, and I'm like, stop it. This is the time where you really want to flood that in there, and which is why.
So I'm getting it under the nail.
Yep.
And on top of the nail.
Yep, be very generous. Then after that, and you don't even really have to work it in, just swipe, swipe, swipe. When I'm using the dropper bottle, I will put one whole drop underneath it, each tip, so that then it can soak all the way through from the top, the bottom, and the free edge tip as well. Okay, after you do that, then you're going to slather on a bunch of your lotion stick or your body balm. If you got the hydration kit, you're going to have the lotion stick.
Yep.
Be careful as it gets warm, because it will want to melt in your house. So
the lotion stick tends to be a little meltier than the body balm. So you can keep that in the fridge if you choose.
Yeah. And then you get your nitrile gloves. You blow in them, apparently.
I do that.
I can't say that I've ever done that, but that's a great idea.
And then I put my thumb underneath here.
Yeah.
So I don't get the greasy part.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what I do. I don't know. I've never really sat there and analyzed. What do I do? And so then you just slide those on, and then that's it. Then you just sit and percolate.
And you go back to work. You put your dish gloves over it. You do your dishes. You clean your house.
You can use your
phone.
phone.
Your life. You can use your phone.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. Your thumbprint won't work anymore.
No,
so
thumbprint doesn't
try
work.
that.
No.
But,
got it. All right. So that's where we start. And so I will wear these. I'm only going to do a mini. Like, I'll probably only leave these on for an hour. You can leave them on overnight. You can leave them on all day, as long as it works for you.
But the first one, you want to do at least 4 hours.
Yeah.
Very first time you ever do this, let's do it for 4 hours.
Yep. Get the most for your money, best results.
Yep, exactly.
All right. So we have two options after this. What we've done in the past is a Get Naked Challenge. And Anna's talked about this a bunch. This started out before we realized how awesome the gloves are in trapping in all of the oils and everything, and helping increase the speed of your results by using your body heat to make it easier for the oils to absorb into your skin. So you don't necessarily have to get naked for 3 days anymore.
No, you don't. You really don't. And especially for those of you who are starting with longer nails that have been more fragile and you've been babying them forever, it's much better to do the intensive hydration treatment for as long as you can, actually. because you really want that oil to penetrate all the way through the layers to make them stronger and more flexible very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep. So for those of you who, for me, I struggle with picking at nail polish when it starts chipping, or whatever, or if you just pick at polish in general, go ahead and do the naked challenge. And if nail polish, wearing polish and doing the Fab 5 wrap actually increases your need to pick and all of those things, just go naked and keep oiling. Mm-hmm. We're doing the best we can with what we've got, and it's all about progress in the big picture. You don't have to do it perfectly from the get-go.
Exactly.
So after you've done that hydration, for those of you who've done the intensive hydration for 4 to 10 hours, we're going to skip right to the Fab 5 wrap.
Exactly.
Those who want to do the naked challenge, do 3 days of the hydrating. Keep your hands out of water as much as possible. You can wear your gloves in the shower. Make sure you wear dish gloves. Be super careful when you're folding laundry, making the bed, zipping up your pant zipper, putting your kids in their car seat. Any of those things are big time danger zones. So you want to slow down.
Exactly.
So next step is Fab 5 polish. We'll go through that in a minute.
Okay.
Step 3, after you've polished your nails, we're going to do oil at least 2 times a day or more.
Right.
And so you're going to wear that manicure as long as the polish lasts until it starts to chip in there. Or if you're bored with it, feel free to take that off and start over. Yeah. Totally fine. When you're ready to remove your manicure, use the acetone with our Simply Soft. Fabulous product. Holy smokes. I'm amazed.
Yes. And if you don't have our Simply Soft, because we've got a lot of new people, and we realized you couldn't buy the whole store, then what you want to do is, because acetone is really important, that you use that one and not just the nail polish removers. Those work slower. They're actually more drying. So then what you want to do is slather your skin with like olive oil or some cheap kitchen oil, and then just slather your skin and then remove your polish, and you'll still have this nice film of skin or oil on your skin.
Yep. Alrighty. Then the way that we call it, that doesn't make good English. Good job, Kirsten. Mini before mani. So every time you remove a manicure, you're going to want to do a mini hydration. So you're going to repeat the same process with the oil and the lotion stick and put your gloves on. And a mini hydration is 1 to 2 hours, give or take. Yeah. So it's just re-upping all of the oil and all of the layers in your nail plate to help add that flexibility and cement all of the layers back together so they stick instead of peel like mine peel. It makes such a huge difference. It's crazy. Yeah. And then after you do that, you're going to wipe the tips with the rubbing alcohol or a little bit of acetone just to get that extra oil off, and then wrap them back up. It's a wrap. And then you repeat. So Fab 5, oil daily, mini before mani. Fab 5, oil daily, mini before mani. That's the process.
That's your circle.
This is the core of the nail routine. After you've done an intensive hydration, and you really only need to do this about once a month or so. It depends on your nails. It depends on your body chemistry and how much oil your body naturally produces. It depends on your lifestyle.
What are we doing? Hold please.
The mega.
What are we doing once a month?
The intensive.
Oh, intensive. Yeah, that's just
so like the 4 to 10 hours.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Right. So that's it.
Some people who have really, really dry skin or live in really, really dry places, they do it more.
Yep.
Again, listen to your skin.
Listen to your skin. Listen to your body. Do what works for you. So let's look at this in a different context of what it looks like monthly, weekly, and daily. So monthly, we haven't talked about this part yet. We want to remove the cuticle from your nail plate. Anna, talk about that, please. And thank you. Please and thank you.
So we'll talk about this a lot more later. I addressed it in a couple of the videos that I just recently did, which I'm pretty sure we have in the bar, and if not, we'll make sure that they get there. But the cuticle, removing the cuticle, that dead skin on your nail plate, makes it so that your manicure lasts longer. If you end up being somebody who doesn't wear polish, doesn't care about your manicure per se, the cuticle, removing that may not be important. But
I also, from a nail bite pick standpoint, I do recommend removing the cuticle and then pushing back the proximal fold, just because that's when you get the sidewall tears and you get the string cheese peelers and other complications. So if you're struggling with hangnails, they're not technical hangnails, but the skin
Right.
peeling and tearing and, just picking at that stuff, removing your cuticle from the nail plate and gently pushing back your proximal fold just in the shower with your
Very
finger
helpful.
once or twice a week, very gently. That reduces the amount of hangnails that you get.
This is very true. For some people, they seem to be more prone to them.
So the second part of the monthly routine, like we just talked about, is you're going to do a mini hydration every week as you remove your manicures, and then a mega hydration every 3 to 4 weeks, again, depending on your body. Listen to your skin, listen to your nails, listen to your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And then for those of you who want to maintain your length, you're going to want to trim and file every 3 to 4 weeks.
Yep.
So that's what it looks on the monthly. For the weekly, so mini or overnight hydrations every week as you remove your manicure, or like me, mine only lasts about 3 to 5 days. So that's a little bit more when I actually am keeping up on the Fab 5 wrap. Like we talked about, gently push back the proximal fold about every 5 days.
That's about what I do, is every 5 days. Yeah.
And so just in the shower, it's super, super gently. Just use the top of it and just barely touching on the top of your plate. You're not digging and pushing and shoving.
Right.
None of that. We don't want to do any of that because you can damage your nail matrix. You can give yourself bruises. You can tear the skin. You can cause infection. We don't want any of that nonsense.
Yeah.
So just be very soft. Very, very, very soft.
Now, if you want to shorten your nails, so like the next thing is 20 strokes removes about 1 week's worth of growth. Some of you will do that. Some of you have the time and the patience. I don't. I'm really busy. And so what I do is I let them grow for 3 weeks until they're just about to get to the breaking point. And then I cut them and then I file them. And so you cut them a little bit longer than what you want, and then you finish off with the filing. But if you've got the time and the patience, file 20 strokes. Doesn't matter what direction, whether you seesaw or do single strokes, one side down. Anyway, doesn't matter, whatever makes you happy.
Yes. And then every week, the Fab 5 Mani Wrap. Wrap that up, seal all of that oil, that hydrated goodness in your nail layers. And so we're going to talk about the 5 Fab Wrap in a minute, but that's a really important part of maintaining length because it adds additional strength. 1, it traps all the hydration, and 2, 3, it looks pretty.
Yeah, it does.
But for the gentlemen in the group as well, you don't have to do the Fab 5 Wrap. If you're able to, there are all sorts of really great matte top coats.
Yep.
So you could do a clear matte top coat and seal all of that hard work in without looking like you just painted your nails. So depending on your lifestyle and your job and all of those other things, there are options if you don't want color and you don't want your nails super shiny.
Right. And it's really cool, though. I'm starting to see more men wearing polish, which I think is kind of cool.
I think it is, too. I think it's fantastic. And then on the daily, you're going to want to oil your nails at least twice a day, in the morning and before bed, minimum. But ideally, 4 to 6 times a day is great.
Wash your hands.
Every time you wash your hands, you do the dishes. We have like as part of the replacing habits of biting and picking. So like swipe before you type and sit down at your computer. Instead of picking it, click it. So click a couple clicks and oiling it up. So whatever works in your lifestyle, you can oil more than 6 times a day if you need it. A lot of days I do, especially when I'm stressed and I just want to pick and chew at them. Part of that is alleviating the need for just the oral fixation and just have that stimulation. So I'll just take the bristles and I'll gently stab under my nails and do that, and then rub it in.
Sensory thing, huh?
There is a sensory thing there, and I find that it really helps when I get agitated or stressed and I need to just do something. So that's an option too. So here's the same thing that it looks like in a chart. We'll have all of these slides available. So again, monthly, weekly, daily. And let's talk about the Fab 5 Wrap. Anna, take it away.
Okay, the Fab 5 Wrap came about because of that original question that I had of how do I get my polish to stop chipping in the shower. Well, I learned, it took me a year to put all the pieces together, and I learned that it was water. Water was what is causing my nail art, my polish, to chip off. And so I started to realize, whoa, if I wrapped the top coat and the base coat around my tips, then suddenly the water wasn't going through and breaking the bond with my polish. So because I'm older, I need 2 layers of base coat and a ridge filling base coat because we don't want to file off those ridges. We'll talk to you about that later, but that's the thickest part of your nail plate. Don't file it down to the thinnest part. It's just going to add to more peeling and breaking down the road.
And your polish won't be able to adhere to your nail plate as well either.
Exactly. 2 layers of base coat, then of course our traditional kind of 2 layers of color, and then 1 layer of a quick dry top coat. What those 5 layers do is add increased temporary strength.
Yes. And it's great. And it actually, and so for me, where I struggle with a lot of peeling, I will use a little bit of nail glue on my tips, and that's been really effective, and then put the base coat and the other layers on. Or even on weeks, don't bite me. Elvis has showed up and I'm working and not petting him, and he has
your
ink.
cat.
This
Kitty cat, behave.
We're moving and he knows it. So
oh yeah,
everybody's a little on edge around here. And
then take care of that, clean up whatever's a big old mess. If you can't be bothered, go take a shower. And as like I was saying before, polish doesn't stick to skin, so it comes off in the shower.
And so even if you don't shower, if you oil up again after your polish is dried, that makes it so the oil breaks the bond between your skin and the polish, and it's easy to clean that up. So yes, we absolutely want you to clean up the smudges and then rinse in oil. Ta-da! Yep. And that's your Fab 5 wrap. So we want you to keep them polished throughout this month. This is not 30 days of going naked. This is correct. The very most, if you do the 3-day get naked challenge, which you really don't need to do, like 10 hours overnight naked. And then you want to polish those babies and keep them covered. Let's talk about nails breathing. I know you love to talk about this.
I love how Doug goes. So Doug Schoon, my mentor, author of Nail Structure and Product Chemistry, he gets very indignant and he goes, nails don't have lungs. They don't breathe. And
they don't breathe.
No, they don't breathe. But here's the bigger thing. Nails are dead. So dead things usually don't breathe. So yeah, unless Kirsten tells me that there's something magical on the planet that started breathing after it died.
I guess it depends on how we define respiration.
See, I told you. This is what
but in terms of the layers of keratin on your nails, there is no respiration, not aspiration. That's what I did that gave me bronchitis, is I choked on my water. Who does that? Oh my gosh. Anyway, your fingernails, they don't need to breathe. We want to seal in the oil. We want to protect them from reaching in your pockets, from touching things, from like fabrics, from doing the dishes. Every time your nails contact water or fabric, it's wicking away the oils that you have in your nails. And as that is wicked away, Anna's great example of it is, think of a tree in autumn. When a leaf detaches from the tree, it quickly dries out and becomes brittle and crumbly. That's what happens to your nails as the oil is wicked away from them. And as you get a free edge, it's kind of like it's no longer getting oil and hydration from your body. So you've got to supplement and you got to seal it in. Seal it in. Trick nature.
Trick nature.
So that's all we have for week 1. This is plenty to get you started. Post your before pictures in the group. There have been tons of people posting it. It's so exciting. Oh my gosh.
It really great. Is.
So ask any questions that you have. nailcarehq.com. Read through that treasure trove of information. It answers pretty much any question. Like Anna's covered almost all of it. If you prefer videos, we have a whole boat ton of videos on YouTube, youtube.com/BlissKiss. The nail bar, ask questions. That we have such a great group of Blissettes. Anna's in there. I'm in there. Ria Gomez, one of our other admins, who's a certified nail tech, is in there answering questions as well. So you know what? We got you covered.
We do. We do.
Okay, so until next week, we will see you soon and see you in the Blissette Nail Bar.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye.